Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Todd Pesek. I'm a holistic physician and an ethnobotanist.
And I'm Ron Remenick, and I'm a psychological anthropologist. I work primarily in Ethiopia.
Greetings, I am Murali Nair. I am a social worker by profession.
We're the directors of the Center for Healing Across Cultures at Cleveland State University, Cleveland, Ohio, USA, and we're here answering frequently asked questions of students and community members in the local region.
What is Healing Across Cultures?
Healing Across Cultures is a movement born here at Cleveland State in the Center for Healing Across Cultures, which my colleagues and I founded, to facilitate positive change in health, wellness, and sustainability as we research and disseminate traditional modalities in health and wellness in promotion of health and wellness, heightening consciousness, happiness, and the like in the pursuit of healthier people, planet, and our living environment. And it really has resulted in a number of notable scholarly products, including our cornerstone publication in the Journal of EcoHealth, which was published in 2006, called Healing Across Cultures, Learning from Traditions. And the whole premise of that publication is basically a plea to the scientific community and healthcare professionals worldwide to come together in discussion and roundtable format with traditional promoters of health and wellness, traditional healers, shamans, medicine men, midwives, traditional midwives, granny healers. The world over have been supporting health and wellness for millennia in a sustainable fashion, and all too often with the technological advancements now, their sustainable ways at promoting health and wellness are forgotten. And so we founded the center to bring these traditions together with leading international complementary and alternative medicine and integrative medicine scholars and other scholars, helping professionals, in helping to elucidate a sustainable way forward for us as a global people.
Yeah, and what we really are looking at is more of the social aspects of medicine. In other words, it's relationships. What we can learn from traditions is that relationships have a powerful effect on the state of our health and the state of our mentality. And it's these relationships that are often encompassed within ritual that has a greater healing effect than some of the pharmaceutical medicines that have a lot of side effects attached to it.
In United States, other than the Native Americans, all of us got roots somewhere outside this continent. The uniqueness about United States is not a homogeneous society. When we talk about culture, we could learn among ourselves itself. For example, the university where we are now in Cleveland, Ohio, USA, the city itself, there are more than 100 languages being spoken by the people. So the resources available in a small town like Cleveland, Ohio, we can utilize this cultural know-how of these thousands of people here. And this is the beginning. That is how we all started here. And then looking at other countries, where my colleague was a 3-time Fulbright scholar in Ethiopia. I myself have roots in India, and our Todd Pesek has some roots in Native American and Appalachian culture. And I think learning from these people is something really fascinating, and we should not negate their practice wisdom or hundreds of years of their healing knowledge, which they did not learn from a school, but we need to still go back and revisit some of their rich traditional healing process. That is what is the great challenge.
In terms of language and diversity and whatnot, in anthropology, or the study of culture, shared learning with the natural world, language is taken as a marker for cultural diversity because culture and practices are encoded in language in various capacities, and all of the knowledge and wisdom and cultural practices that are encoded in language and practiced in culture, you could call the collective ethnosphere, right? just like we have a biosphere or a biology. And just as we're experiencing a catastrophic exponential decay in our biosphere with a mass extinction that's largely driven by anthropogenic change, or people hacking down the rainforest, or chopping this or that, or polluting the rivers and lakes, so too are we experiencing a cultural extinction that is unprecedented. And we measure that really with this disappearance of language.
And not only are we emphasizing and focusing on relationships and ritual, for even 1,000,000 years we've discovered medicinal plants. We discovered the things that kill us and make us sick, and we discovered things that heal us. And I think we have to return to the effectiveness of the plants that we have lost from our tradition, because we've entered into a factory model of medical care, which means that doctors see you from between 7 and 15 minutes, and then they have to shove you out the door, and the next one comes, and they write their prescription for the pills, and you take the pills, and it becomes an assembly line. And the assembly line model isn't in our best interests. And so we have to go back to the plant-based culture that has served us well for at least 100,000 years and beyond.
We have to keep in mind, our society is not programmed to accept this kind of things. And even when we were small, we were taught not to believe anything which is not scientifically proven.
Right.
So we have the tendency of accept only which is proven in a scientific lab setting kind of thing. If you look back at our cultures, all the cultures, they respect the environment, the ecosystems, and we are not only talking about plants, and we are looking at our own environment. For example, in Far Eastern culture, we worship the sun. And the early morning, the sun gazing, it doesn't cost anything, and also people are asked to get up, even children, for example, to study. They said early morning, you get up before even sun rise, like 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. They said the brain has a capacity to grasp more things, and they have been doing it for generation after generation, and they worship the sun, and they gaze the sun, and even in the water, the respect they give to this environment, is very, very important in all these healing things,
And we've lost at least corporate culture lost that respect because of a higher priority for them, which is money.
We are programmed to believe only scientific fact. And we're also told really what scientific fact is. It's really unfortunate, though, that science doesn't recognize the fact that the process of cultural revolution and shared learning with the natural world is actually the scientific method. The traditions, they study the language of the plants and the cosmos, and they understand these things very similarly to the scientific method. Traditional healer observes a plant, it looks like a three-lobed liver, so they say, I wonder if we could use this in detoxifying the liver. They try it. If it works, they keep it. If they don't, they discard it, and on and on are developed these indigenous pharmacopoeias. Now, so that is science.
I think it is not the bookish knowledge alone, or what we are seeing in the media. The media has a very powerful subliminal message. In a matter of split second, they could brainwash you. My humble suggestion is find some senior citizens. In our society, unfortunately, we do not respect much our own senior citizens, and find the person in your community who is the oldest, maybe in the 80s or 90s. And one of the fascination, I am involved with these centenarians, and now we even got a group called super centenarians who are 110 plus years old, and just sit down with them, and even if they are not educated, even if they are from another culture, and have some patience, sit with them and just listen. They can enrich you more than reading 100 books. And I think that oral tradition is really sad. We are not passing it on to our new generation in this millennium,
We
that
go,
is something we need to go back and
Yeah.
look at it.
we going back to the erosion of the ethnosphere, right? I mean, as our elders move on to their understanding, that knowledge, that wisdom, that collective oral tradition
Yes.
is disappearing. As Dr. Nair mentioned, he has roots in India, an ancient tradition of 10,000 plus years. Myself, I am Anishinaabe. We call ourselves the original people. Like Mudali and his people, we also worship the sun and the cosmos and tread lightly. And I'm a fourth generation Appalachian root doctor, and I pass this tradition to my children, but it becomes complicated and difficult when the very fabric of our traditional knowledge is being eroded in terms of the biosphere, right? So you got the ethnosphere or the traditions, and the biosphere, the actual plants and the substance in our environment, and you can't save one without the other. They're inextricably intertwined, and we must drive both cultural and environmental biological conservation in a concerted fashion before it's gone.
And we have to be aware of the paradigmatic restrictions that keep people boxed in their thinking and resist looking beyond their commercial, factory-based medical models that don't allow for open information from things like we're talking about.
By the way, I have a special announcement. Happy birthday, Ron.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Ron is one of our elders, right?
Yeah.
And his wisdom benefits us all.